What is going on YouTube? Hayden back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we're going to be looking at Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, as well as XLM to USD. We're also going to be looking at the current coin market cap, as well as an article posted by Cointelegraph in regards to when to sell Litecoin. Never. Mark Yusko says Bitcoin is like the Amazon stock, which means we shouldn't be selling it. I also want to discuss where we could potentially expect the markets to go now that we've seen a major dip in the price. As we know, we got hit pretty freaking hard. Bitcoin is trading below $8,000, which is wild, and I want to try to figure out where exactly the markets are planning to head down to. Otherwise, if you guys are new to the channel, definitely make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up, and let's jump into today's episode. Guys, before I jump into the current chartings and analysis, I want to give a huge shout out to today's sponsor, Bitmins. Guys, Bitmins is pretty freaking awesome. Basically, they're a digital, wearable, collectible item used based on blockchain technology on the Ethereum blockchain, which is pretty awesome. As you guys can see, Bitmins is the first full digital status symbol based on blockchain technology, represented as a digital diamond. Every Bitmins is unique because you generate it on a basis of your personal data. It can be bought, sold, or gifted. Its value increases over time like every traditional luxury item. In the future, you'll wear it without any risks or theft, and it will get you free product or free access to exclusive events. And remember, lower numbering or higher pureness of your Bitmins will take you advantages in the future stage of the project. Don't say you've never been warned. So it's pretty awesome. They have a ton of different things I'll explain here. And if you guys were interested in getting one of these, because I have quite a bit I'll show you in a minute, you can actually buy and sell them, and I'll show you how to do that. You can put it up on a market where everybody who uses a platform can buy and sell them. You can see right here. These are Bitmins that people have posted on the website for sale. You can see here it's pretty awesome, and you can sell it quite easily, which I'll show you right now. So here you guys have it. These are my Bitmins. It's as simple as clicking on my Bitmins, and you can see the ones that you currently own. Now, I was involved with Bitmins quite a while ago, months ago, back in February of 2019. And you'll notice the value of all my Bitmins have gone up significantly. Currently trading at $73, $59, $49. I got these at around $10 a piece, and you can see they went up 621%, $500, $400, $676. Now currently worth as high as $80 when I currently bought it at 10. And then it's very simple to sell. All you do is click right here and click sell, and they go to the open market and eventually get sold. And then you get profits, and you can take them out and write to your PayPal. So I definitely recommend checking them out. Huge shout out once again to Bitmins for sponsoring today's episode. Check out the first link in the description. And if you want more Bitmins at a discounted rate, I've linked an email down below too. Just shoot them an email, say you got them from me, you heard it from me, and they'll hook you up. Otherwise, guys, moving on to today's episode, in regards to this article right here on Cointelegraph, I want to talk about what he's referring to. So speaking to CNBC in an interview of September 27th, the CEO and Chief Investment Officer Morgan Creek Capital Management compared Bitcoin's 10-year history to Amazon. He responded to concerns from regular crypto host Melissa Lee over the Bitcoin price, which fell below $8,000 on Thursday, as we know, which is yesterday. For Yusko, while the price of Bitcoin can go up and down, year-on-year growth gives a solid reason to buy and not to sell. All indicators of the network and the network value are rising, and the price of any asset fluctuates, as we know. Examples included network hash rate, transaction volume, and wallet numbers, all of which have continued their upward trajectory this year. So while the price may have dipped, the benefactors behind it, the core reasons to hold Bitcoin, have been going up. So it should eventually be reflected in price. Yusko thus concluded that selling Bitcoin would be like selling shares in Amazon. So far, there has not been any advantageous point to do so. And every year, including this year, it has doubled digital drawdown. The average peak to trough, 31%, twice 90%. When was the right time to sell? Never, he said. Basically, he's considering that you should be holding onto this coin for a long time. Now, jumping into the current analysis and charting, and just to start off really quick, Bitcoin on the market cap, 212 billion, 24-hour volume, 68 billion, and Bitcoin dominant, 68%. Coins are down again. We're starting to see cryptos fall a little bit lower than we've seen in the past. Top 10, for the most part, are still falling. Tether holding the, number 4 spot now, which is wild. I never thought I'd see Tether up there, but it is definitely just sticking to, only down 0.34% today. You can see really very little movement staying at the current $1 price, but all the other cryptos took a major hit and have pretty much been either consolidating or falling lower down. So it's unfortunate to see these moves happening, but we do have to consider that we did get hit pretty hard, and for the most part we do have, I'd say, a little bit longer before we continue to either fall or retrace up higher. And I'd like to switch on over to these charts right now before we jump into any really serious judgments on the coin. So I'd like to start off with Bitcoin for right now. You'll notice Bitcoin, which is pretty much the #1 crypto here, on its weekly is currently trading pretty high up, believe it or not, compared to all the other cryptocurrencies. I'll pull up Litecoin on its weekly, I'll pull up Ethereum, and I want you guys to take notice of where they currently are on their weekly. All right, so here is Ethereum on its weekly. Let's pull up Stellar on its week. Actually, Stellar I know doesn't have the high-low MMA. All right, but if you compare Bitcoin to Litecoin or Ethereum, you'll notice one thing that's of key importance right now is Bitcoin is trading quite above the high-low MMA. Even with this major pull that we had, or retracement to the downside, we are still currently above the high-low middle moving average, which isn't necessarily a good thing for right now. If you look at Litecoin or Ethereum, you'll notice they are currently below their high-low MMA. Below it here, below it here. So they've both retraced. Very shockingly, Ethereum blew right down to lower levels. Litecoin currently trading at its previous descending wedge. You can see right here, regaining support right here at that $50 support level. But the crazy thing is Litecoin was unable to break above its resistance right here. Bitcoin still has room to move down. And that's pretty much the main thing I want to discuss with you guys right now is the key support is right here. And I want to take this, make it a different color so we know. Let's make it an even more vivid color. Let's do like green, or here, blue. So you can see right now what exactly it is that I'm referring to. Is there still room to move back down? As we know, the high-low MMA is that key area of basically being neutral, and you'll notice that we have trouble when we float this high above such a strong neutral playing field. It tends to want to come back down to it, and the fact that we've shot up way past this and allowed so much room and gap in between the prices, it was almost obvious or certain that we were going to pull all the way back down to levels this low. So we have to take that into consideration when, investing in coins like this, that long term we may have been bearish the whole time. Short term, we could have seen movements to the upside. You'll know that we were in a high-low middle moving out, we were in a symmetrical triangle trading out right here, and then eventually we needed to pop. And because we were, above the high-low MMA, we needed that consolidation to retrace. Now, what I wanted to discuss with you guys is the bear market over? There's still chances that we could fall lower. Reason being is because we're not yet even near the high-low MMA. We could fall as low as 7,200. So about, I'd say $700 more to get us as low to 7,000, and then we could potentially see that bottom and start to head back up. I don't want to see us break through. That still is an option, but for right now, we still look like we could fall to as low as, that $7,000 support area. So I'm going to delete these lines so it is a little less confusing, and you can see where we are right now, that we do need to come back down potentially to here. There is still a gap that could, potentially be filled in within this coin. You can see on the daily though that we don't look too bad. Extremely overbought indicates short-term, uptrend. We could be hugged out here, but in the long term, we could eventually pull back down. You'll see where that bottom comes into contact. You can see where that last bottom support is. So there's a really good chance we could fill this in right now. Long term, fill that in, and then eventually start to head up. That's definitely a huge scenario and a huge possibility. You can see where that congestion is. Obviously, we all want to see that retracement to the upside, but I think we're still headed lower for the current moment in time. Even for Litecoin looks to me like it really has nowhere to go but up for right now. Unfortunately, Bitcoin, as we know, holds onto all the other cryptocurrencies, and if they want to pull back down lower, so will Litecoin and so will Ethereum. So we're really paying close attention to where Bitcoin goes. And as far as Bitcoin is, looking, long term, we still do need to move down to around 7,200 before we see that play upwards. So Litecoin could fall even lower, potentially to $40. Yeah, I don't want to say it, but as low as $40, if not a little bit lower down to maybe 35 or 33, before we can see that reversal upwards. The only good news is we are once again trading below the high-low middle moving average. That on Litecoin does give us some reason to believe that we are still going to move back up. We're anticipating room to move upwards, while on Bitcoin we're anticipating room to continue to move down. So that's the thing long term. Bitcoin looks a little bit more bearish than Litecoin or Ethereum. Ethereum looks great as well, though, extremely undervalued right now. All the cryptos are undervalued. These are honestly all great buying opportunities in my, situation. I think here I bought in a little bit, so I want to see where exactly that leads me to. I do think we're going to start to trend back upwards. I bought in for Litecoin and a little bit into Bitcoin, and I plan on dollar cost averaging Bitcoin as low down to 7,200 as possible before we see any sort of short-term retracement upwards, and then it's going to be a quick sell. Otherwise, that's going to wrap up today's episode. I know we didn't talk about Stellar. Stellar looks to be consolidating too, but being affected quite easily by Bitcoin support. So it looks like this coin wants to head down lower too. What's crazy too is even with this downtrend right here, we are still, using that as a support, which is pretty interesting. And we're holding support at 0.057. So very odd market right now. Otherwise, that's going to sum up today's episode. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace.